I have got the Tarte and Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette to share with you guys today, and I've had this for a few days and I've used everything in here, so I've kind of formed a pretty good overall opinion of the products. The box packaging mimics the actual palette that's inside, and then there's a picture of Bunny on the back, which I just love her. She never ceases to like make me laugh. She's a good people. And then for the amount of product that's in here, each eyeshadow is 0.035 ounces a piece, and there's 9 of those, and the bronzer is 0.11 ounce. The blush is 0.11 ounce and the highlighter is 0.11 ounce. So all 3 of the face products are 0.11 ounce. I purchased my palette off of the Tarte website, and I was on there like when they first launched it and the website kind of crashed, and I had it in my cart and it wasn't letting me check out, that type of a situation, until finally I was just kind of fed up. I was like, I have stuff to do. So I went outside and I rode, and I came back like, it must have been 2 hours later. I thought, it's gone, done, sold out. And lo and behold, I was able to add one to my cart right then and there and check out with ease, and then probably 5 minutes later it was sold out. So I kind of lucked out when I got this on the website, but I have seen it as like coming soon on the Sephora website. Ulta has released it as well, and I think it's officially sold out on the Tarte website. The outside portion of the packaging is a cardboard, but the inside portion is a hard plastic. It would have been great if the whole thing would have been a hard plastic. I really like the outside imagery on this particular palette. It's very Graveyard Girl. It does have a texture to it, like a wood type of texture that's mimicking the wood on there. And then when you open the palette up, there is a mirror. It doesn't hold itself up, but on the mirror it says, believe in yourself, love yourself, embrace your individuality, and it says Tarte on there. And inside it does come with a flat shader brush that is synthetic. Talking a little bit about the products in here, I did use a little bit smaller brush for this bronzer on my face both today and yesterday, and it buffs out really nicely, but I would, because that bronzer is so pigmented, I would have liked to use a little bit fluffier brush. Like you can see in the demo, it does look a little crazy when I first start putting on the bronzer, but I always end up like buffing everything all on my face. And while it looks quite warm, in the pan, it actually really gave my face that sun-kissed type of look. It wasn't too orange for me at all. And then does this thing really work is the blush, and it's got some gold shimmers in it. And then you've got Gator Wings, which is the highlighter, and this has got larger chunks of glitter in it. I really wish that they would have just done without the glitter, because it not only loosens up the product in there, like you put your brush in there and product kind of goes everywhere, but also the glitter doesn't really adhere to the skin, and like I kind of had glitter all over my face each time that I've used it. It also, I thought it was going to have a pinky undertone, but it's definitely got a gold sheen to it. It's quite highlighty, but again, there's that glitter that kind of gets everywhere. As for the eyeshadows, I used the purples yesterday, and both of the mattes, I did have a little bit of, I had to work at blending them out. And then in today's warm look, which there will be a demo for all of this towards the end of the video if you're interested in that, but I used the warms for today's look, and I feel like they blended a little bit better than the purples, but it wasn't effortless. I still had to work at the blend, but I was able to build and blend them up. One thing that kind of occurred in almost all of the products in here is when you put your brush in there, like a ton of product gets kicked up. The Sippy Sippy shade is another one which has glitter in it, like larger chunks of glitter. The base of the eyeshadow is matte though. That's what I have in my crease, and it looks like a matte brown eyeshadow. So the glitter in there again loosens up the pressing of that eyeshadow, so it, you know, it gets kind of messy. I wish they would have just done without the glitter there too, because again, I had glitter on my face and it doesn't adhere to the eyes. It's just pretty much, even though it's shiny and glittery, it's pretty much a matte brown eyeshadow for me. Here's the palette up close, and then this inner portion is a nice hard plastic, and the outer portion is cardboard, and then there is the back of the palette. I think it would have been nice if they would have had like Bunny's face on the back of the palette like they did on the box, but. And then here is the, well, there's the mirror. The bronzer I would call a satin. This has got shimmer in it. This has got glitter and shimmer in it. And then for eyeshadows, you've got hashtag SFS, which is a, I'd say it's a shimmer shade. Natural Peach, which is a matte. Dogman, which is a matte. Big Baby is a matte. Sassy Bun, which is a shimmer. That's one of the best performing shades I feel like in the palette. Sippy Sippy. Haunting, which is a matte. Uncommon, which is a shimmer, and then Mancat, which is also a matte. So here is the bronzer. Here's the blush. I really like the blush. That's one of the products that didn't like kick up hardly any product when I put my brush in there, and it looked really nice on the cheeks. It's like a warm mauve, plummy color. So So you can see the bronzer is quite pigmented. I would have liked to stick a larger bronzing brush in there when I put it on my face, but the strips kind of prohibited me from doing that without picking up other product. But you can see the shine in there. I think it's quite a pretty shine, but the glitter. Now we'll do the eyeshadows, which I did use all 3 of these shades in the look today. Side note, I am just noticing that there are some really fine sparkles in here, but I feel like on the face it just comes off as a satin finish in the bronzer. So anyway, let's go over here. This one's a matte. This is probably one of my favorite shades out of the palette. That's what I have on my lid, and this is what I have in my crease. This is what I have underneath the brow bone. And then this last row, which this shade is also a nice performing shade. I found that these 2 shades were a little difficult to work with when I used them. Overall, I like this palette because I like the packaging and I really like Graveyard Girl, and I'm happy to support her, but some of the products in here could be better. Yesterday I had a little bit more fallout with the purples than today with the warm tones. I kind of had just a tiny bit of fallout, if any at all, but mostly it was glitter from those 2 shades, which it's just stuck to my face. I tried to brush it off, but it's that type of glitter that it's in the product that will fall down and kind of get all over your face, and you kind of have a hard time getting it off. That's not to say, however, that a pretty look won't come out of this palette, because I really like the way that today's look came out. I think it's really pretty. And then in terms of shades, I don't think that there's anything particularly unique about the shades. These are very Tarte type of colors, so if you have a lot of Tarte palettes, you're probably going to see some similar tones and colors in other Tarte palettes, because I've seen shades like this repeated quite a few times in Tarte's line. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Now if you're interested in seeing this palette perform in the look that's on my face, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. Using a Hakuhodo highlighter brush, I'm going to go into Gator Wings, which is the highlight shade from the palette. I'm going to put that on the tops of my cheeks, a little bit above the brow, there. Then using a Hakuhodo blush brush, I'm going to go into Sweet Tea, which is the bronzer shade, and go right into the hollows. And blend kind of upwards. Then put a little across the forehead. And I'm going to buff this bronzer out in a minute. And just a bit underneath the jawline. We are going to buff this out in a minute though. I'm going to take a Wayne & Goss number 14 brush and go into Does This Thing Really Work, which is the blush shade, and put that on my cheeks. Then I'm going to take that highlighter brush and I'm going to buff out the top edge of that blush. If you hear a little bit of a hum, I had to aim the fan in here because it's like, it's cooking. Now I'm going to really buff everything out with the Hakuhodo J104 and the Guerlain Meteorites. I have the shade in Claire. And I just run my brush in the pearls and just really buff the product in my face. Now I'm going to take the NYX eyeshadow base, and I have 03 mixed with 01, and I'm going to use a more sheer layer because it's been warming up out there. It's been really humid here too. So just a more sheer layer. Using a flat shader from Hakuhodo, I'm going to go into Sassy Bun And I'm going to put that one on the center of the lid. Then using the side of that same brush, I'm going to go into hashtag SFS, and I'm going to put that color right in front of Sassy Buns. Then using a Chikuhodo GSN 9, I'm going to go into Sippy Sippy, and I'm going to put that one in the crease and the outer little portion of the eye. And this one's full of glitter, but it's not like adhering. I'm probably going to find that on my face with the highlighter later. My brothers are farming, so it's like a bunch of equipment is outside. Using a Hakuhodo J5523 brush, I'm going to go into Dogman. I'm actually going to dip into Dogman and Natural Peaches and kind of go back and forth between the two. And then I'm going to blend out Sippy Sippy. Then I'm going to take a Chikuhodo eyeshadow brush and go into Big Baby. These names are funny. And I'm going to put that underneath the brow and down to kind of that transition shade. Then on a Chikuhodo GSN 10, I'm going to go into Natural Peaches, and I'm going to further buff this out right here. So there's the eyeshadow done. I'm going to go ahead and finish on my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. On the lower lash line, I use this Givenchy Couture liner pencil in the shade 05 Jade, and I kind of feel like it's the perfect swamp green color. I really like this liner. I'm going to line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Pink Venus. And then to fill them in, I've got MAC's Huggable Lip Color in the shade Soulful, which is kind of a coral pink color. So there's the overall finished look using the Tarte and Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.